Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to episode 44 of Aqueduct, the Fortress by the Sea. And we will today finally get ourselves involved into some really important water experiments. Because I figured that I need to try out how we can make energy happen here. So it's about time that we consider how we create a water generator here. And I realized that with the current setup, I would have a lot of problems with just the basic footprint of these. So currently, well, we could only sport one water wheel on each side. And at this end here, well, looks very similar because you have to think that we will have to have walls around this entire casing here. So anyways, my idea is a very simple one. I will create a experimental water generator today. So we're going to go through these, and the very interesting question that came to my mind here is whether or not we will be capable of constructing it like that. And if I can create power by just pumping things from one end to another. This will be a very interesting question, because if it works, I can create my power here on the bottom level. That would be a really, really big benefit. And, well, we'll see what this will bring. And I want to point out here real quick as a side note before we continue the series that I introduced shortly channel memberships. So if you want to watch the Savage Lands and all the other series that I do prematurely before they air, this is a way to do so. I will always give you a daily episode of Dwarf Fortress as long as I can. But all in all, if you want to binge through all the stuff that I have pre-recorded, channel membership allows you to. I will never gate any content in a way that I would not only provide something for paying customers. That's not my style, but I felt like this is a nice way for you to support me because it's just $2 and you can just watch more dwarves if you want to. Now, enough about that, Admiral. Let's get back to the demands of the Queen. More coffins. She requires always more coffins. Kogana Ross has so many coffins available by now. It is really, really frightening. All in all, life is good so far. We are seeing the completion of this mega project coming closer. There's still a lot of things that we need to settle down, especially the pump stack now will require a lot of work still, but well, we're gonna be getting there. We're gonna be getting there. So I want to smallen this stockpile because I realized that we're going to require this building ground here. All right. So one thing that dawned on me in between was maybe I don't have enough planters in my fortress anymore. Maybe 2 planters don't cut it with a fortress of this size. I will monitor the drink intake because in the last couple of episodes I was monitoring a ever so slightly decline of my drink stockpiles. It feels as if I'm not producing enough grain to keep up my expenses, so we'll see about that. Oh yeah, but all in all, stuff's looking good here. Let's see. Oh, finally somebody's picking up these tasks here. Let's hope nothing will collapse due to that. I've been very, very worried about these commands here. But, well, if anything, it'll be a sacrifice to the bridge. According to the culture of this fortress, it really does not matter to them if they die while working, as grim as this might sound. And look, now the planning tool does do its thing, but at these ends it somehow failed at doing its thing. Here, for example, it would fail again, because the wall below isn't built yet. So they might again build this wall and not fill this tile beforehand. It's a real full-grown nightmare to me. Alright. But on the other hand, I mean, at least I only need to work on the final takes, so to say. Like, most of the job is already done. And just need to take care that they don't ruin everything. Like here again. Oh dear, and here again. I don't know. Considering that this awaits me on every pillar. Ugh. Well, it is as it is, my friends. Mega projects are mega projects. The key of finishing them without losing your mind is to stretch your attention every now and then to other things, like these little bridges on the aqueduct here. Okay. Probably we will require more bridges of these on these aqueducts, and I do need hatches on all of these. There we go. So, these hatch covers will serve later the purpose of draining the aqueduct if ever necessary. But mostly they will hinder the draining of the aqueduct. But I will link them to some lever. Alright, things are coming together now. So, we have this structure here, and we have open space here. Oh dear, this really sucks. Okay. So, what kind of floor? Oh dear. I ordered all the way dolomite floors. No! Where did I order floors everywhere? Well, only here. So it ain't that horrible. Okay. First things first. First, let's finish the dolomite floor where I will have it. Where I want to have it, and then... Oh, this is one of the things where I really gotta say, it would be really... What the... Okay, I don't know what kind of floor I was ordering there. So... We're going to correct everything. So, we're going to put floorboards everywhere here. These are redundant, but whatever. It won't be hurting either, anyone either. Okay, so we got this now. I have 1,300 dolomite gabbro blocks on storage currently. That is amazing. Okay, so let's make sure that these building jobs will not get done accidentally. Oh dear. And then we erase these real quick before anybody comes up to get a bad idea. Double check that we got what we need. So, now then. So here's the second water wheel, and here's the wall. Okay. So hopefully this will work out as intended. And here we got now 2, 4, and 5, 2, 4, and 5. Okay, so we can replicate that. Now that should work now. So the question is, can they reach that diagonally? We'll see about that. So there will be a pump here and water wells here. And is there again time for something to be constructed? Leggings and coffins. So this is already a old one, but the leggings Jeez. This queen has a insane demand of these things. Oh, it's only one. One day, 100 years in the future, when every last piece of iron is scraped out of this mountain, we will just grow animals for the sole purpose of feeding the never-ceasing hunger of our queen for leggings. I say, this will happen. It will happen one day to this place. Well, either way, maybe I should start buying leggings from caravans too. I think this would be also a very roleplay solid decision here. So, store items and stockpiles, okay. Well, for now, we're hauling more stones than anything else. But whatever. Guess all these tasks have to get done at some point. What can I do? Alright, but I'd really wish they'd be finishing the construction of these things faster. But well, let's check back with our Gabbro pit. So, Gabbro pit is looking really happy on this level, but geez, look at that desertification here. This is so much stone. Wow. It's been a good idea to start our business here, because you see so many dwarfs scuttling around, just fetching the boulders for our stonemasons. Because as you see here, that stuff's getting ever processed. I mean, I think we should stop at 1,000 Gabbro blocks. I think we got enough then. Because I buffer way too many workers on this task. So if we stop cutting blocks now, we will eventually fill the stockpile and eventually get those workers unbound for other tasks. I realize that I maybe overdid it with the Gabbro Storm, but, well, I've been just tired of them not getting their stuff done. Either way. Alright. So, this place is finished now. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. We can construct a ramp here. So we can put a floorboard on top of this. Because I want to seal up this place. Must remove construction. Are you kidding me? Well, I mean, I can remove that construction, but since when can't I build a floorboard on top of a staircase? Whatever. It'll happen one day. We'll get that ramp here, and then somebody can climb up here, get that construction done, and we can seal off that thing, and we have finally a nicely structured little place. Technically, we could then build up another wall made out of dolomite here. Yeah, let's do this. So, or, no, we're not going to build a wall out of dolomite. We're going to build a wall out of gold. That's what we're going to do. Here it goes. This is supposed to be a monument, no? So we're going to build a monument. Alright. For me, these little decorations will matter a lot, because there will be, of course, a big guided tour through this place after I'm done with this project. Alright. Because, you know, I think the first mega project that you're completing might be even one of the most important mega projects in your entire Dwarf Fortress time. Alright. So, drink amounts are slowly going down again. But I mean, with all the trade happening around us, we can easily sustain ourselves here. So, Gabbros slope, that looks terrible. So can I now put a floorboard here? And here? Yes, I can. Awesome. So the gold wall will afterwards be engraved, of course, because, you know, everything else would be terrible. And yeah, and when we're done, we're going to remove the ramp here again. There we go. Love it. So maybe the queen has planned this all along. You know, the accident by the bridge. Maybe it was all a massive plan behind for the queen masterminding to take control over this place. Full control. No other noble dwarves in her way. Nobody else messing around with her sayings. Nobody else looking that suspiciously at her leggings. You know how these things work. That all being said, I think this entire place needs some extra engravings, so we're going to put some engravings in between. Just below the coffins, as it seems, but I also want to line the entire floor here with fine dwarven art. There we go. Maybe put some statues here into the corners. A statue of a coffin, a statue of a leggings. Come on. We're gonna do this. Put one thing at a time, my queen. More importantly for me, I want to get this gold wall here engraved as well. There we go. Stuff's getting better and better. The whole problem of our current situation is simple. We got so much staircase to build here still. Look at all those ghost constructions. That's keeping my blokes really busy. It's a very, very horrible task at hand. So let's see, how are my dolomite stockpiles? Where did I stockpile dolomite again in the first place? I think it was somewhere down here. This is my dolomite stockpile, isn't it? Yep. And it looks not too happy. So let's make our dolomite stockpiles happy again. But I mean, that ain't hard. So let's see. My mining corridor is this one, isn't it? Yep. Okay. So we gotta dig downstairs here and get ourselves a big bad hallway here. Alright. So that should provide the fortress with fresh dolomite for a while. And there's already somebody on the task. Nice. So we're currently training a lot of young miners, which are getting more and more talented. Just really a relief because we've lost most of our skilled brigade on the big incident on the bridge, which has now a big monument on the bridge. You really see how much slower a skilled miner works compared to a legendary miner. Check the legendary miner out. He's chopping down 3 pieces of wall while this guy is merely finishing 1. I don't know if it's even a 3 or 5 during the cycle. So legendary talent is amazing in terms of speed up or efficiency. A legendary fighter is amazing, a legendary engraver. Legendary really means legendary in this game. That's one thing that's really important to say. Now, where's my royal engraver? Speaking about legendary engravers, Scylla, what are you up to? My lanky little friend. Oh yeah, he's still busy with the apartment wing. But here we have amazing speed and amazing quality. There we go. He's just cranking out several masterful engravings a day. Now, that's gonna get us somewhere. But that explains why our jolly old friend here has a lot of stuff to do before he can get back to the other tasks at hand. But that's totally okay. I don't have any time pressure behind this project. No, not at all. We should also consider some engravings in this hall here, but one thing at a time, I'd say. So, if I'm not mistaken, we should now have very soon a end of the Scabro flood. So my stoneworkers workshops should stop manufacturing these crazy amounts of Gabbro soon, because we just filled the tab. So let's see, for the dolomite blocks, I hope I was a little bit more thoughtful. Yeah. All right. So, my good friend Selob is now more than busy. So, I meant to do one thing, which is something that I want to do even more in the future. I want to focus a little bit more on certain personalities here in the fortress, and I want to give us a little bit of an insight of these people a little bit more in the future. So, let's see, where was the description of the person again here? So, tall and bellarded by great hanging sacks of fat. Nose is bridge and incredibly concave. Hair is clean shaven. Okay. Tall ears. Very suspicious. Narrow nose. Alright. Lovely. This is just the kind of queen that you would look up to. Okay. Well. Let's see. She's a close friend with the militia captain. That's interesting to note. That's actually very, very interesting to note. And she has a couple of close friends in the military. But apart from that, well, a lot of dwarves in the fortress by now know her as a passing acquaintance. It's pretty good. So I somehow imagined our queen to be prettier. That's the very first thing that crossed my mind. But sometimes things are as they are, and she must have heard my joke, so she ordered 2 coffins. Damn. Is that supposed to be a threat? Alright. So, I'm gonna check up my glassmaking skills in the episodes in between. And I think I will be creating some higher quality glass soon again. You know, all that grain glass, it's all nice and dandy, but we could also do some really, really wonderful creations here. So, something just for the future up in the head. Well, turns out this stairwell is a monumental task, as it seems. But I think we will see a lot faster workflow soon, TM, when the whole Gabbro madness has ended. Currently, there's a lot of people still busy hauling the boulders. I bet that this will go on like this for a while. Jeez! There's been so many boulders a few minutes ago. Where did they all go? That's really sick. I mean, wow. They destroy this terrain or, well, I shouldn't say terrain. They're destroying the boulders in such a amazing time. think the stonecutters of this place must be a really, really skilled bunch by now. So my cobaltite stockpiles need to be refilled too, but that's another day's labor. Today I really hope that we're going to see a little bit of a end of this entire gabbro and dolomite madness. Alright, at least the gabbro stockpiles are refilling properly now. I will order more wheelbarrows. More trees have to die. Death to those trees. Especially since they are standing in my way here. So, I don't mind the elves hating me for cutting down a couple of trees. That's just what dwarves do. Cutting down trees is kind of like in our DNA. Okay. So yeah, dolomite block hauling is a thing. But luckily they are afterwards constructing things quite often. So we're going to issue a new little structure here. I'm really desperate by now. So let's see how good that'll work. I'm ordering dolomite and gabbro blocks here. There. And we order them to be taken from here. So my logistics dwarves hopefully will now take the task and carry building material over here so my constructors get their jobs done faster. I probably should have done that a while ago, but Dwarf Fortress is a game that allows you to learn stuff about the game even when you're several hundred hours in. That's one thing I really admire about it. Okay, so with this water generator technology, we would be capable of producing like 180 energy, if I'm not mistaken, per slot here. We can create several of these slots. I think this should be more than enough to power up the pump stack that I envision. I don't think we need to go that much wider. Of course, we could make the pillar wider and make the entire power system more beefy, but I don't think we need to. I really don't think we need to. We will need 2 pump stacks, of course, because we got a aqueduct to fill at the northern end and the southern end. That means we will need 10 energy per pump, and we have to cross a elevation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no. So 12 layers. That means we need 12 pumps. That means 120 points of energy, plus some energy transmission. So if we get a net value of 180 or 190 out of this, one of these suckers will be enough to power the entire pump stack. That's where we're going to go with that. Okay. So the only question that remains for me now is where will we build that pump stack then? Probably I will need to relocate the water generator. I'm pretty sure that I will have to relocate the water generator in some way or another. Because I don't know how to transmit power. If I need to transmit power over here, I could destroy one of these stairwells, but whatever. We'll see about that. Okay. So water wheels. Oh, I made the footprint too small. Whoopsie. Forgot that they were 3 wide. So let's do this like that then. Okay. I was like, my water generator somehow looks off. And another coffin order comes in. Gee. One day, I'll be looking at one of my workshops and it'll be all full of coffins. And when I deconstructed, coffins will spurt all out of the place and fill the entirety of the fortress. So I somehow get PTSD off of this. And it's so funny in a way because it's the epitaph of this entire death cult that we get to spam coffins like crazy. Coffins all day. Coffins, coffins, coffins. This is like... I bet she's a very devout follower of Ukar. I bet she is. She must love that whole death cult so much. Either way, this is the end of today's episode, my friends. We made not as much progress on the water generator as I wanted to, but at the same time, I feel like yeah, I should have done this probably a while ago, but somebody in the comment section mentioned that like 15 or 20 episodes ago, and I was just too stubborn to do so, but to be stubborn is to be a dwarf, so I don't mind. At least I did learn in the end. So my good friends, we're going to continue our mad endeavors next episode. I will try if I get a power output out of this thing, and then I'm going to design the pump stack thing afterwards. I am very, very much looking forward to that, because that will be pretty much also the end of a big, big journey, you know. Really looking forward to that. But one thing at a time. I'm looking forward to hear from you. Leave me a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and of course, I want to thank the many, many supporters of this channel. Check out Patreon, PayPal, and buy me a coffee. If you'd be joining in, that would be really, really cool. But either way, big thanks for watching this video, watching this series. I really enjoy having you guys around because all this would be much less fun without all of you. So, see you all next time. Have a good time. Bye bye.